right.
All right, good.
Should we get started?
Yes.
Hello everyone and welcome to the pre-stream before the actual stream. My name is Tess, I'm the product marketing manager for City Skylines, and with me I have Marina, that is the CEO on Colossal Order. And we just wanted to have a chat with you guys before the actual stream. So we decided to hang out in the green room and answer some of the questions that have popped up in the community so far, while the rest of the team is getting ready for the actual release stream that will be aired shortly.
Exactly.
And one of the most asked questions at the moment is regarding mods, and especially what we mean with the modding being in beta. Can you explain a bit on that?
Of course. So essentially the modding being in beta means that we have a group of very talented modders that actually have access to the game and to the modding tools. As the modding tools is something that we're really creating for the modders to use and get creative with, we wanted to have this conversation where we actually basically just keep developing these tools together with the modders.
Mm-hmm. And next question then, we are going to work with Paradox mods in City Skylines 2. And what does this mean for Cities?
So essentially, Cities is a game that is available on and will be available on multiple platforms, right? So we want to make sure that all the players have access to similar content or the same content. So Paradox mods will allow us to have, we're not tied to just one distribution platform, but actually have the same content available for everybody.
So basically it means that we will have mods also on Microsoft Store, where we're releasing at start, and on Steam. There has been some questions regarding GeForce Now. Can we address that as well?
Currently it's not technically available to have, or technically possible to have the mods there, but we will be investigating this in the future.
All right. And there's been some speculation, since we are discussing Paradox mods, that there will be paid mods in the future.
Yes. So that's not true. There won't be paid mods on Paradox mods.
All right. Okay, so that's a bit on the modding part. We have discussed performance a bit as well, and we have shared some news on the current state. But can you share some more, like what's the current state and what are we working on?
When it comes to performance, the game does work on certain setups nicely, and we've seen some glitches and performance drops on certain hardware setups. So we are addressing those. The latest patch actually rolling out today for the release. So what we will be doing is basically focusing on continuously figuring these issues out and rolling out patches as we have the fixes. So you can expect in the upcoming months us to work very hard to resolve these issues.
And we'll also have Damien on the stream shortly, the CTO at Colossal Order, to explain a bit more what we're working on.
Exactly, he can go a bit more technical.
All right, and I don't know if you can share some stuff on the console, what we're doing on console at the moment, since that release window was a bit delayed.
So essentially for consoles, we will have a lot of performance fixes, optimizations, and also console platforms will have the modding available when they release.
All right, exciting. And we are if we're talking about the modding tools, then we are just shortly gonna view a video where Damien and Henk has been checking out the editor tools a bit as well, right?
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek to see what we actually mean when the editor is not fully ready yet. So you can have a little bit of an idea what to expect when the tools actually roll out.
Exciting stuff. So soon mods, and we'll learn more in a bit in this video.
Exactly.
Hi, it's me, Henkka, game designer at Colossal Order, and with me is
Damien, the CTO at Colossal Order, and we are going to talk a little bit about the editor and its functionalities. So in Cities Skylines 2, we took a different approach from the first game to how to approach content creation. And instead of having separate editors, which handle a very specific area of asset or data that goes into the game, we have a single editor that allows for pretty much everything. So we have map creation, asset creation, and propping of assets as well, which are all performed in the same interface. And we also have code modding, which this one is done separately and does not require to use the editor in order to create content for that. The game deals with the code modding at loading time and it's a separate aspect.
So what we have now is the game editor in its current state, and we are going to demo it for you guys. And we'll start with the map editor. Okay, so at first we're going to go and select a map here and load it. And here you can see the map and you'll be able to edit basically everything you can see here. Roads, terrain formations, placing props like trees and other terrain props there, like the castle you see there. And we start with the terrain tools. You have the basic and familiar tools with you that you can use. And you'll see that you also have the same tool options available as you have in the game. You can smooth things and level, and it's very easy to use.
The UI is still work in progress. In this video, this is a placeholder that just enables functionality so that we can demonstrate what it performs.
And you can also see here that we are using the same tools for the road building as well that you have in the game. And you are able to use all of the cool tool options here as well. And we have also even more options for the editor. And you can place trees, of course, and we have the tree brush and individual trees, and same goes for other props as well. And here you can see that you can actually access all of the objects that you've placed in the map, and you can continue to adjust their features there and fine-tune everything to your liking. You can also select different types of climates for your maps. So if there's going to be what the weather is going to be in the map and how the sun is going to behave here in the map. And you can also be able to, of course, add water and resources in the map so that you can have cool things there.
Yeah, so once you have done everything cool that Hanka mentioned earlier, you can then save your map and mark it as publishable so that you can start a new game from that map. And best of all is you will be able to share that map on the Paradox mod so that other people can enjoy your map just the same way that you do. You can import custom assets or place existing ones in order to modify their look and gameplay abilities. Once you have an asset placed into your terrain, you can have one or more that you can edit simultaneously. You have a large amount of properties that you can modify as seen on the right side of the video.
Yeah, these include all the upkeep and building costs and how many workplaces there are and how it functions in the game. And you can also see that you can, of course, prop the building if you want, and you'll be able to place a lot of props. This building has 1,133 props. You'll also be able to place pathways to guide the trucks and vehicles traveling on the lot, as well as hang-around areas for the pedestrians, and all other types of things such as fences and power lines and so on. So you have lots of options available to really customize the look.
And on the left side, you can see in the workspace, there are some child elements to some of the assets, which are so-called render prefabs that allow us to set all kinds of rendering properties. You can set color variations, load behavior, curve properties, and skinning properties, and all kinds of cool stuff that allows you to customize your asset to look the way you want. It is also possible to get all kinds of randomization for props that will be spawned accordingly to the simulation state. Those are currently shown with the green colors in the video.
And you can of course place other props on the lot as well as on the building, and there are multiple different snapping options for you to use so that you can place them exactly as you want. You can also place props on top of other props if that's something that you want to do. Once you place the prop, you can then of course select it afterwards and fine-tune its placement, rotation, using the sliders that become available once you select the prop.
And as a final note, we want to mention that all the tools that are available in the editor are also the same tools that we use in-house to create content, and we do not intend to obfuscate any of the functionalities so that you can use the full power of the simulation features that we provide.
Hi and welcome back. We are here in the pre-release stream, and with I have Damien in the hot seat, the CTO on Colossal Order. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And we just saw a bit of a video showing the editor tools, and of course we are super curious now. How is it working with the modders?
Well, it's been very interesting. We have a group of people who are very passionate about what they are doing, and we get a lot of interesting and powerful feedback, and we try to accommodate the features that seems to be most needed for both the modders and the other people who would access the build later on. And it's been very productive, and we just get a lot of progress done very quickly. So I'm very excited to get this out to the public as soon as possible.
Seem to be a very passionate group as well.
Yes, yeah, definitely. There are a lot of nitpicking and attention to detail that is, I think, very relevant to this kind of tools. So we are doing some very good progress that way. So.
Nice. And there has been some questions about Paradox mods and why we're not integrating it, both Steam Workshop into the game. Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, I can easily answer that question. So basically, Steam Workshop, as great as it is and as useful as it's been in the first game, is as it's called, a Steam Workshop, and we do not want to tie the game to a single distribution platform such as Steam, because we do support multiple platforms already on PC, both Steam and the Microsoft Store, and splitting the community across different stores doesn't make sense because a lot of the content is going to be created for a specific platform, and the users of the other platform will never see that content. Instead, we prefer to opt for a single universal solution that will work on all the platforms, current and future. And most of all, we'll also work with consoles. When we get there, the consoles will feature at least the asset moddings, and if the platform is identical on all these platforms, we just have users being able to access much larger amount of content and also better vetted content, so that everything will actually work as well as possible. So yeah.
Nice. All right, and that's a bit on the modding aspect. I also asked Marina some questions earlier about performance in the game, and there has been some more technical questions as to what will be more important, the CPU or the GPU. Can you explain a bit?
It's a trade-off. Both are important in their own regard. When it comes to simulation speed and scale, we are mainly talking about the CPU. We do have some simulation running on the GPU, but those are not that heavy that they require too high quality GPU. So the CPU is actually the most important thing when it comes to simulation, and the GPU is the most important thing when it comes to rendering. So being able to see details at a very far distance and with a lot of quality in the rendering and visual fidelity, so to speak, the GPU comes into play, obviously, but this is one thing where the quality settings can be dropped without affecting the essence of the game, where you can still play the game as it was intended, just has less details and doesn't look as pretty. So yeah, it's really a trade-off of both.
And discussing trade-offs, we discussed previous to this chat when you explained a bit why we have focused optimizing performance in certain aspects of the game.
Yeah, so this is a relatively complex game when it comes to performance, because we face challenges that are not common to typical games of other genre. With a city builder, we need to get really close and really far from the assets that are shown in the game. So when you build a city, you usually are from medium to far distance with the camera. So performance improvement have been focused into this range of camera. And as you get closer to the street level, the performances are harder to optimize, because there are also more objects that turn out to be visible and all kind of other implications where the shading gets more complex. So the performances will tend to suffer the most when you get from mid to close level, zoom level. And this is something we are, of course, aware of and working on constantly, so that we will eventually reach a target that the game will run at 30 FPS in a smooth experience from an input perspective, so that it will just be constant no matter what is camera distance, angle, or circumstances in which you're looking at your city. So.
And is there anything the player can do to optimize their experience and have a smooth playthrough?
Well, currently they are the easy solutions to the performance problems that have been mentioned in the reviews and in the public videos that have been posted so far, would be to play the game at 180p. The game was primarily meant to be played at 180p, so if you have 2K, 4K or above, it's definitely going to be causing GPU problem. The fill rate is going to suffer greatly. And due to that, if you do drop depth of field, for example, which is one of the known extremely expensive effect, you will already get a significant performance gain. But running the game at 180p and disabling the depth of field would be my very first suggestion if for users who would experience any kind of performance issues with the hardware they are currently using.
Right. And I mean, if we're just wrapping up the performance aspect a bit, what are you working on right now, and what do you think we'll see? What are we prioritizing?
So priorities are to make the experience of the players as good as possible, as quickly as possible after the game comes out. So for those who don't have problem, it's great, and I wish them a really fun play, because the simulation itself is actually quite addictive and fun to play. For those who have performance problem, we will pay close attention to which actually are the most face difficulties, and put most of our efforts into pushing a series of patches which will fix those issues one at a time. And in parallel to that, we will also work on the modding tools as mentioned and seen in the video, and we will try to get that in a good shape so that everybody gets their hand on it in the near future.
So basically, the performance, if I'm understanding you correctly, it's not going to be an issue for everyone. It depends a bit on what graphics you're playing, but we will look and scout what issues and what hardware people are using that will cause issues, and then those are the things that we will start addressing immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. We will follow up on the situation with players, and we are already working on some performance improvements that will launch no matter what the feedback is in a patch soon after release. But we will put extra attention to see specific hardware that cause certain problems, because the stutter issues that have been mentioned before, for example, seems to affect only a certain combination of hardware that we have not been able to very successfully reproduce. So whenever we get nice information on this combination of hardware, we will do all we can to get those sorted out in a timely manner. So
that sounds good. All right. That wraps up then a bit of the more technical questions that we have seen in the community. And soon we have the release stream coming up. So I think we are getting ready for that. And if there are more questions, we will hold AMAs going forward. Don't forget to sign up on our socials, and we'll jump over to Maddie shortly.
Welcome to the City Skylines II release stream. Today, we're going to talk about behind the scenes and everything that you'd want to know about City Skylines II directly from the devs. Let's go. I'm Maddie, the community manager for City Skylines 2, and I'm really excited about the next hour where we're going to have a bunch of really amazing guests. But first, we're going to welcome in the CEO of Colossal Order, Marina. Hello.
Hey Maddie, how's it going?
So good, I'm so excited.
Me too.
Speaking of excited, the game is going to be out in less than an hour. I think everybody's very, very excited. But let's go back to the first question that I think every interview starts with. Why are we even making a sequel?
Well, I mean, that's a good question, but essentially City Skylines, it was a beautiful journey of over 10 years of developing that game. But we essentially had a few limitations that we were unable to overcome. So it became evident to us around 6 years ago that we would have to actually start fresh and basically redo the entire game with the newer technology.
Too many things that we wanted to add.
Yeah, basically, or things that just, I mean, come on, like roundabouts, for example. Yeah, we just realized that it wouldn't work as we would like it. So better start fresh.
So the vision for the game was bigger, better, more cool, more exciting.
Well, I mean, yeah. So basically, when I pitched the sequel to Paradox, I said that this is City Skylines but better, and I was told that that's not a good pitch. I didn't understand why not. I think it was obvious, but essentially we added a few finer details there. But I think, yeah, definitely, Paradox bought it.
So it's not just the amount of features that has updated; it's also the need for tech and how the tech has improved. So do you want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, so essentially with City Skylines 2, we're using newer technology than we did with the first game so that we could have a deeper simulation, we could have a bigger game. And it just allowed us basically to start fresh and figure out what we wanted to do, what was important. Yeah, it should basically become a better gameplay experience for everyone.
I hope so too. I think they will feel that. Was there anything about making a sequel that made you a little hesitant?
Well, sure. I mean, we basically managed to do a massive hit back then, and basically just to have that. Like the expectations from the community, our internal ambition expectations, it was a huge pressure. Like, how do you top that? So I guess we're about to find out.
Modding is a very important feature of City Skylines 2. How has modding been thought about and included in the design process?
So essentially, Colossal Order game is a moddable one. As we saw with City Skylines, it's a huge part of the experience, and we're very proud to basically spend time on supporting modding. So City Skylines 2 will feature an editor where the player can basically create maps. They can import assets, and we'll see what kind of code modding we'll end up with, because those modders can really think outside of the box, and sometimes we can't anticipate what they come up with. But essentially what's important at this point is that the editor is now in beta, and we're very much looking forward to work on it and improve upon it so that we can basically offer a great experience for the creators and modders out there.
Yeah, the editor and improvements on it has definitely been something that the community has asked for.
For sure.
But is there something that the community asked for that you were so excited to finally be able to include? Maybe it's something that you were thought about adding for City Skylines 1 but weren't able to.
Well, I think roundabouts for sure was something, and the mixed zoning. So there were so many times when in the feedback it's like, oh, you have to have mixed zoning, and we couldn't have that working in Cities Skylines, but now in the sequel it does, and yeah, it's a great thing. We're very proud of that.
So seasons. Since the launch of the feature highlights, the community has gotten really excited about seeing all of the changes in winter and snow. What was the implementation of that like?
Well, essentially for us, seasons was something that we definitely wanted to have in the game. It's one of my personal favorites. So it was really important to take that into account from the very beginning, because just to work that time frame or the time scale to the simulation. Basically for us, it's always gameplay first. So the seasons is something that really brings a gameplay challenge. Just think about the snowing in, morning traffic, and you just have to first clear the roads from the snow. And it's really something that kind of brings a new flavor to the sequel compared to the first one.
something else that's really important for entire city simulation is where do people work? Where do people get their goods? And industries is so integral in that. How has, industries been improved upon and added to this game?
Well, essentially, Industries DLC from City Skylines was one of the most popular ones that we did. So for us, it was very clear that we wanted to include that kind of a gameplay challenge in the game and in the simulation from the beginning. So industries do play a big role in the game. There is basically trading between cities, so that's a very exciting thing. So you don't necessarily have to have everything produced locally, but you can also import and export different goods and services. So it's a very important part of the simulation, and quite exciting one.
Finally, I can just overproduce everything and reap the benefits.
Of course.
So, Chirper, something like the mixed reception, I would say, but we love Chirper so much, and he had to be in the game.
Of course. I mean, like, how else would we have plushies for City Skylines, really? I mean, you have to have a mascot. But yeah, Chirper has been completely overhauled in a sense that we hope that now Chirper can be more accepted in the community. I think there was a controversy. Some people felt that Chirper might have been a bit annoying. I don't recognize that at all. Basically, being the mother of that feature, I feel very protective about Chirper, but essentially in City Skylines 2, Chirper now has a clearer meaning as the voice of the citizens. So essentially it is more tied to the lives of the citizens, and it's a important feedback or important in providing feedback for the player. So I think it's a more improved version of Chirper that we see now in the sequel.
Yeah, and we can like it when they feel bad. So I think that's fantastic detail. A lot of, the real world can be represented in the game, and so does Tampere.
For sure. Yeah, so essentially Colossal Order offices is located in Tampere, Finland, and for us it was a little bit of a hometown love thing to include a map of Tampere in the game, as well as the most famous landmark from the region, which is Näsinneula.
I mean, it makes a great little statue on top of a mountain.
For sure.
The game releases just within an hour. What are your expectations?
We're so excited to get this game out. I mean, City Skylines, it was over 8 years ago that we have actually released the game. So it's a huge pressure, it's a huge expectation, and we're just very excited to hear what the community and what the players think, and to get that feedback and the conversation ongoing again. So it is really a start of a new journey for City Skylines, I hope.
Yeah, and that journey, hopefully very long and very prosperous. What do you think the future for City Skylines 2 is going to look like?
I think the future is bright, I hope, and we are at Colossal Order very hard at work continuing improving the game and the experience, and especially when we start to get that feedback from the players, it will be the source of inspiration for us again. So it's a great thing, and we look forward to work on this game for many years to come.
Yeah. Thank you so much for answering all of my questions. People are excited to get through that door and get into that seat, so thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Maddie.
All right, next up in this long queue of people that want to get into this office, let's talk to a Developer Insight superstar.
That would be great, but why can't I say it like...
You just said it. That's a usable take.
Is it? And that's that. Great.
Hello.
Hello.
So for the people who have not seen all of the Dev Insight videos that you're so good in,
Yep.
who are you and what do you do at Colossal Order?
I'm Henkka. I'm a designer at Colossal Order, and I've been with the company since 2010.
So no time at all, right?
Yeah, no time at all. About 4 games under my belt.
So we're going to talk about the ideas and the ideas behind the changes for City Skylines 2. And can you walk us through how you picked and how you chose what to add to City Skylines 2 to begin with?
So we basically want to improve on everything for the sequel. We have better technology, so we can push things forward much more than we could ever before.
And we also wanted to take into consideration the wishes of the community for City Skylines 1 and what these people want to have in the sequel and what's important to them.
What do you think is top of their list?
I think one of the first things was roundabouts, and the second one was mixed zoning.
Which is your favorite part?
Yeah, I mean that's great, and it brings so much like difference in a city that when you have it actually there now.
One of the bigger features I would say for City Skylines 2 that's been added is themes.
Yes.
So you can do European and you can do North American, and it changes so much about the game. Do you think that the amount of themes or the different themes will be changed in the future?
Definitely, it's something that we want to look in the future and also see what the community wishes and how that aligns with our vision for that feature.
And map tiles. Speaking of the map and visual improvements and also big gameplay additions, the size of the map, the changes in map tile size, insane. Why?
Well, first of all, now the entire map is usable for the player. And we want to make the map tiles smaller so that the player has more control over how they expand their city. But there's also, because there are smaller map tiles, there are a lot more. So we're talking about like 441 map tiles in total. And we've also paced the game in a way that you start with unlocking few map tiles as your city is still kind of small. But as it grows, the number of map tiles that you get at every milestone is increasing as well. So you can then definitely make those bigger changes in your city if you need.
Yeah, I think the exponential curve just drives city building like drastically.
Yes, and I think it's natural when you are talking about, bigger populations and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely.
Exactly. So we talked about it a little bit. I heard you mention mixed zoning, but that is your personal favorite feature.
That is one of my favorites. Like there's so many cool things in this game, but yeah, that's definitely something that's gonna shape the city centers, I think, in the game. And of course, there are other cool things as well.
Do you have another favorite feature?
Oh, definitely. Can we talk about 2 hours here or something like? But yeah, I think one other is the new road tool. I mean, it's amazing. It's been one of the things that we wanted to have and in this game, and it's one of the kind of defining features in a way. It's so easy to use and so much more control, and it's perfect.
I think it's the perfect example of complex but not complicated.
Exactly. The whole situation goes under the hood, but the player has the easy tools to use to just let their creativity go wild.
Exactly. No, I've seen some crazy things built and the game isn't even out yet. Economy and trading has been improved upon for City Skylines 2. Why do you think economy and trading specifically is so important to make a city feel alive?
I think it's at the core of city management to have a working economy and have production in your city. And we wanted to overhaul that entirely because we wanted to have a deeper simulation on that aspect as well. And that's why we're going much more deeper into the whole situation in that sense. We wanted to have the player to have, of course, the tools to fiddle with all the numbers if they want to, but it's also designed in a way that if you just want to build a nice city, you can definitely do that. Yeah. And if you want to optimize your city, you can definitely do that as well. Set all the taxes for the different industries that you have in your city and go crazy with that.
Yeah, and production chains has also, again, it's more complex, but it's not complicated.
Yeah. We have a new production panel in the economic panel. So from there, you can definitely look at everything that's produced there in your city and see where they come from and where they're used. So you can kind of trace the original resources from natural materials into the products for the end users.
The community has grabbed onto seasons and has that probably as one of the features that they're the most excited about. But why do you think seasons is so important for the city? We talked about this with Marina, but I would love to see if your answer is different.
We wanted to have seasons in City Skylines 1 but that wasn't possible then. So in City Skylines 2, we wanted to include that as well from the ground up. And we ended up having an awesome season system as well as climate system in the game. That's basically they play on each other in a way, so it's great.
Upgrades and expansions are new. How do you think their addition to the game will change people's gameplay experience?
Well, in City Skylines 1, you could only plop one building and then, plop the next and the next as your city grew. So that was kind of like unrealistic in a way. So we wanted to add a bit more realism and basically avoid buildings becoming like redundant over the course of the game. So as your city grows, you can add upgrades to your existing buildings to improve their functionality and answer the increasing number of citizens in your city.
Yeah, I usually just plop parks like all around my schools. They deserve to be happy and surrounded by green.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to play the game. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So the game releases today. How excited are you?
Excited and a bit scared, but mostly excited. It's been a long journey, and I'm glad that we are now here, and I'm excited that we'll get to see as the fans get their hands on the game what they're gonna, what kind of cities they're gonna build, and that's great.
What do you think the future for City Skylines 2 will be?
I think it's gonna be awesome. I mean, it's an absolutely great game, and the potential is limitless, basically. And I can't wait to see what we are gonna have in the future for the game.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks.
We have a bunch of people though, so you gotta go.
Okay, I'm gonna go now, but it was great. Thanks. Bye.
So let's move away from development and into the true heart of my job experience, community. Let's ask some really fun questions. Welcome. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Are you excited to answer all the fun questions?
I am.
Good. Let's jump into it.
Yeah.
Who are you and what do you do at Colossal Order?
I am Sam. I am the community manager, and that means that I am sort of the connection between the players and the developers. So I spend a lot of time reading feedback and sharing that with the devs, or sharing information from the devs to the community.
Mm-hmm. The link. You are the link.
Yes. Hopefully not the weakest.
Oh, no. But you've been at Colossal Order for a little bit. What do you think about the City Skylines community?
I think we have the best community. I might be a little bit biased because before I was a Colossal Order, I was a big part of the community, and I've been around since the beginning at release. But we just have so many amazing players and so many cool people that I really just look forward to going to work every day.
And one of your tasks as a community manager at CEO is to collect people's suggestions and ideas.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time reading the forum. I read through emails we get, social media comments. We try and collect feedback from as wide a pool as possible to get a good idea of what our players really enjoy and what they want to see improved or added. So that's a big part of my job.
Mm-hmm. And how does the dev team then pick from all these beautiful suggestions that you've collected?
It depends a little bit. Sometimes we have like a specific topic that we're looking at, and then we look at what feedback we've gotten that's relevant to that. Other times we're just looking more generally and seeing like what is important to our players, and then we look at how does that align with our vision for the game and what direction we want to take it in.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a suggestion from the community so far that you remember as being extra cool or super, I don't know, hard to implement?
I think contour lines like stands out to me just because of the way we sort of like shared it with the community, where we weren't sure if we were going to have them, but we were doing some work on the editor, so they managed to be shown off in a stream, as you probably remember.
I was there, yes.
Yeah, so that was really cool, like reveal, I think, of that, like even though it's just like small little quality of life.
When we showed off the game without the contour lines, people were quick to express their want and desire for them to be back. And it was very lucky that they were so relatively easy to implement.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that was we had luck with that.
It lined up very well for like a cool little reveal.
Exactly. But is there any other recommendation, maybe even from that was suggested from even before City Skylines was announced or City Skylines 2 was announced, that you are glad made it into City Skylines 2?
I mean, it was a given with Cities 2, but I think Seasons is a big one. Like, obviously something we wanted to have, but also something the community really wanted to have. And I think it's super cool to finally have that.
Yeah. Do you have a personal favorite feature that isn't Seasons?
Yes, I do. That is signature buildings. I really love the fact that I can build these like huge industrial buildings now. And
Why?
I know.
Why would you do that?
It's right. But no, I really love being able to build like them, and they're functional. They're producing products, and they employ people, and they're part of the production chain.
Yeah.
And I think it's super cool that we have them for like all the different zone types, so you can have that little extra in your city.
What do you think the community feels about Chirper's new role in City Skylines 2?
I'm really excited to see how they take to this new improved version of Chirper. Chirper's been loved or hated in Cities 1. I'm really excited for this more like integrated into the life of the city version. See how they enjoy just being able to get some feedback in the city and get a sense of what their citizens are up to.
So the City Skylines community is fantastic, as we've already talked about, but is there anything about it that stands out to you?
We get some really awesome emails sometimes where people share stories of how City Skylines has impacted their life.
Yeah.
And I really love them. We've gotten stories of how it's inspired them to get into city planning or architecture. We've had some people tell us about how City Skylines has helped them get through a tough time in their life. And we've had some people that have met through City Skylines and found a life partner, and it's wonderful to read those stories. It's super heartwarming, and it's just I save them for like a rainy day.
We put the community in community.
Yeah.
Thanks for answering all my questions.
No problem.
Short stay on this stream, but you'll join a bunch of more in the future. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Speaking of community, we had a big community event this year at Gamescom where we met some of our favorite influencers and creators. So we've made a little fun video from that. Enjoy.
Take in this amazing scenery. This is probably the best view I've ever seen. Definitely the best view you've ever seen.
City heads, City Skylines enjoyers.
Do you not just call them city heads?
They're city heads.
They're the Skyliners, bro.
No, they're city heads.
They're freaking Skyline. I'm scared. Okay. Und los geht's bitte.
Hi everybody, and we just went up in a crane 50 meters to see the skyline while we played Cities Skylines 2. I think that the game actually has a lot more realism in it now. You can play it as an economic simulator, you can, or it'll give me a lot more deep ideas, along with everything that Cities Skylines 1 had, so.
Are you near the Gamescom hall? Yeah, it's over there.
This is Chirper, bless him. He actually survived the journey. I'm going to steal him back to Ireland now. I am very excited. I'm probably going to commit a lot of atrocities playing this game, and I can't wait.
I like the new big buildings that you can upgrade. I love that. I always wanted that in the first one.
And the roads having all the pipes in them already.
Yes,
amazing.
that's
After
something
do all that stuff, that's a change.
Never go up
Never
on one
go
of these.
50 meters into the air.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
It's better playing the game.
Yeah.
you enjoyed that video. And the person that kept us all in check at Gamescom is the product marketing manager and my boss, Tess. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you are the product marketing manager of City Skylines 2.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So basically everything that is viewable in the marketing campaign is my department.
Your responsibility.
Yeah.
And you're my boss as well, so yeah.
Amongst other things, yeah.
So let's start with your origin story. What was your first meeting with Marina or Colossal Order? Do you remember?
I don't remember the exact first time, but I have a very strong memory from when we were first visiting Tampere and the Colossal Order studio. And that was when we had the introduction dinner, and it was in the Nesinula Tower, the signature building that is part of the pre-order. And it has a turning part at top at a restaurant.
Yep.
It was a very nice, fancy dinner, but since it moves constantly, it was also a dinner where I was constantly motion sick. Don't tell Marina this. I'm sure she won't view this stream in hindsight. So I was, focusing either conversation, staring out the window, conversation, staring out the window. So intense first dinner for sure.
A dizzying first meeting.
Indeed.
But your responsibility is the marketing campaign. So how did the marketing campaign for City Skylines 2 take shape?
So one of the most important thing for me is the anticipation of a release date, counting down towards the release. And we really wanted to build up the marketing campaign with that feeling of revealing bits and pieces part by part.
Yeah.
And I think that's the core of the feature highlight and also the dev insight, that you really have the build up towards the release and countdown.
Yeah, and the idea of this marketing campaign came to you in a dream.
Yeah, almost. I have a very strong recollection from when I was a kid, sitting in the cellar at our gaming computer, and you had a Diablo 3 campaign where it was revealed like one glass piece at a time on the website. But I've looked everywhere and I can't find this campaign or how it looked like. But it was one of the really strong memories of me, like a build up and the anticipation. And then the game actually came out years later. But yeah, it's one of my favorite game campaigns.
Yeah. One of the big highlights of this campaign has been the feature highlight videos and the developer insight videos. How do you feel like they have contributed to the piece-by-piece campaign style that we've had?
So I think that the feature highlights is a way for us to get the dev diaries. That is one of the core parts of introducing a game bit by bit to the community and the players. And we wanted to have it a bit more bite-sized, where you can comprehend the feature in an easy format. And then the dev diaries is a nice complement to really get across the developers and their passion and their thoughts about the game. And they are the true superstars, really. So no one wants to see me here. They want to see the devs. But I am here anyway.
And now we've seen their faces in the developer insight videos. Why do you feel like it was important for the community and everybody else to see their faces and see who they are?
I mean, they are the ones that has the most passion. They are the brains behind the game. Yeah. We are here to help them promote it and help promote them as well, because they are the superstars.
We made so many different developer insight videos about all of the topics about City Skylines, but do you have a favorite one?
I do. I love the audio one. For me, since I read through all the dev diaries, I've seen all the feature highlights, that was the one that really struck me when Anu explains how the layer of sound is done in the game, because you really need to experience it. It's not something you can read through and understand when reading a script. So with the first time I saw that, I was really struck by how many details there are in this game that you don't really think about until you see them on the screen and you could hear the sound and the movements in there. See it. If you haven't seen it, you should.
It's on our YouTube channel. Another video that was very important for us was the pre-order trailer, and it had a bit of struggle coming out, but I think it was really good. Can you tell us a little bit about the behind the scenes of what happened?
Yeah, so just a few days basically before we were handing in the trailer, we realized that this is not what we want. The game didn't come across. We worked really hard with the concept, with an agency, and we just made the call, let's do it ourselves. We know the game, we know what we want to be in there, and the game is so beautiful. So let's just show the game what it is and let it come across on the screen. And we wanted also it to be a big contrast towards the CGI trailer that we had on announcement. And that was a lot of animations, and now we wanted to make sure that the game was the highlight and that it came across.
Yeah.
It's a very long answer. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. One final question. I've asked everybody this already, but what is your favorite feature in the game?
So I don't have a specific favorite feature, but one thing that really struck me with Cities Skylines 2 is the replayability of it. I love that you can focus on different aspects each time, that you can choose to focus on, for instance, furniture, or choose an industry that you want to have in your town. And to be able to play it over and over and have different focuses and different types of cities each time is what really, mesmerizes me with Cities Skylines.
Thank you for being my almost last guest tonight.
No worries.
Thank you for dreaming up the whole marketing campaign.
Yeah, that's an interesting aspect of this one. It's only a dream, guys. It's only a dream.
Dream. Thank you so much.
No worries. Good luck with the last interview.
Thank you. All right, for the final interview, let's talk to the business owner of City Skylines, Luca. Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
Good. How are you feeling?
Good. You have a nice office here.
Thank you. Yeah, no, all of these books are definitely mine.
What's this?
A book. All right, moving on. Your first question. You're the business owner for City Skylines 2. What does a business owner do?
Business owner basically is the product owner of the project. Like we deal with the financing of the project, like resourcing, like all the stuff that nobody wants to talk about in game development.
I'm so glad that you have to do that and I don't. So
yes.
That's good.
I'm happy for you.
When did you start your journey at Paradox, and how has it been?
It has been 5.5 years, I think. One of the initial interview questions I had was from the then product owner of Cities 1. How would bring Cities 2 to market? Because I started as a PMM.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has been a journey since then.
Experienced anything fun?
No, I was just waiting for the release, to be honest. I moved along a lot. Like I became a PMM at the beginning, became a brand manager, and now a business owner. And it has been a journey. You've seen like what happened on Cities 1, what's now happening Cities 2. So yes, a lot is happening.
Yeah, I heard through the grapevine that you also had a fun answer to a question I asked Tess earlier. What was your first impression of Colossal Order, or rather, what was your first impression of Finland?
My first impression, great country, great people. I think the story you're after is like when we first went there, it was for an anniversary of Colossal, I think the 10th one. And they had this huge metal party, a lot of alcohol, a lot of metal. And it was great. Like the alcohol was great. I felt really good, had a lot to drink. And then our product manager and our then CPO came up and said like, we should do Minto Schnapps. Because apparently Swedes think that's something that Finns do.
Sorry.
I think after the next 5 minutes, I don't really know what happened afterwards. Just where I was in the hotel room at some point. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you also had experience of the dizzying ride in the...
Yeah, I think it's a theme. It's a theme. When I go to Finland, I'm getting dizzy, and we're trying to avoid it, but it's also nice to visit Colossal Order.
Yeah, and you've met the whole team there. What does the team at Paradox look like? Are we as pretty?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Colossal Order, like just blows us out of water. No, but like in terms of like our team, how it looks like. So when you're a publisher, you have like a lot of roles that are dedicated to different games, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like everybody is just working on Skylines. I think you're actually a
I'm
dedicated
probably the
resource.
exception, yeah.
Yes, but a lot of people work on different projects, and across the publishing division, I think we're around 100 people, and all of them, I think, at some point during like the long development time and everything during the campaign, have worked on this project in some form or another. So I would say there are at least 3 people on it.
Because there's been 3 people on the show.
Yeah, that's how much I could verify today.
Yeah, good. You're the numbers guy, so you should know.
Yes.
All right, there's a tagline on our website that says deeper simulation and living economy.
Yes.
What's your interpretation of that tagline?
Well, as a very direct person, I would say exactly what it says. Like, there's a deeper simulation and a living economy. But like, I would say like the whole game is set up in a way that it is the upgraded version of Cities 1. Right? It's not a completely different game. It is Cities 1 done today with all the experience that Colossal Order had before.
Yeah.
And that really reflects in the gameplay. Like, the economy is actually something that has a tremendous impact on the game. It's almost like a much more realistic ant farm that you're now hosting your city in.
Yeah. You're the business owner. You're the money guy.
Yes.
Right. The money, numbers, and money.
Yes. I like money. Yeah.
What's your take on the economy of the game?
I would say again, like, this is my favorite feature. I don't know if we talked about it already, but like, I think it should be clear at this point.
Yeah.
I would say like the economy in the game is so much more realistic than it has been Cities 1. Like, I did a lot of demos for our partners when we got closer to release, and that was always the part that I enjoyed most talking about, because like you have so much stuff. You have like wealth, like property values, or like high rents that affect people, where they are employed, which affects the traffic simulation. Like, everything in the economy affects at the end how the city is set up.
Yeah.
Like, and now, like, the best thing ever was when I saw for the first time the product tab with like this 29 or whatever products on their services, like manufactured goods, like input goods, and you could see like exports, imports, and you can actually influence how they behave in your city.
Yeah, I don't think I have to ask what your favorite feature is, because you'll just say economy again.
No, the follow life citizen.
Yeah, but I'm gonna ask this question still. So you've played a lot of the game.
Yes.
What is the feature you're most looking forward to?
Okay, so I think you told me before I am supposed to say the traffic
AI.
simulation.
Yes.
Traffic
There
simulation.
we go.
Traffic
Thank you.
AI. Okay.
No,
Yes.
yeah, talk about it.
Yes. Okay. So, I would say like the traffic AI, or like the traffic in general, like building roads and everything, has been like the core system, or one of the core system of the game, and how the player interacts with the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, I found myself a lot in Cities 1 not doing like a lot with traffic, not really trying a lot, because I also didn't use a lot of the mods that enabled you to do complicated traffic stuff. But Cities 2 comes with all of those features, and you can do a lot of things with that. And I found myself, when I now played the game, that I spend a lot of time in like public transport, in street design, everything. Also, you helped me a lot with designing.
You're welcome.
Not roundabouts. What was
Intersection.
it? Intersection, exactly. Like a half clover or something, something about line maps, stuff like that. I don't know. I just dropped those keywords from time to time.
Thank you.
So people think I know what I'm talking about.
But we're very, very close to release now. You are the final interviewee. What's going through your head? Are you excited, nervous?
I'm super excited. I played the game. I'm a huge fan. Like, of course, I'm anxious as well. Like, you never know how people will react, right? Yeah. So far, the reactions to the feature reveals, to like the first views that we had doing Gamescom, and like some of the videos that I saw on YouTube were very positive, but you never know until you actually release the game, right?
Yeah.
But I'm super hyped for the game. I'm very happy to be finally able to play it, not in an alpha or beta state anymore, but the finished version. And it's the start of a new journey. Like, if you know Paradox Games and you know Colossal Order, like, you know there will be years of development ahead of us where we just make this game better and better.
Yeah.
Like, for every fault that we might find during the release, we'll have an answer in the future.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Thank you so much for answering all the super fun business questions, Luca.
You're very welcome, but I hear a smidge of sarcasm there.
Are you ready to release a game?
I think so. Actually, I should probably check. So I will see you in the office, okay?
Okay. That was it for the interviews, and the release is very, very close, but the show is not over yet. We have a super fun video prepared for you guys, and whilst that's going on, we have asked every one of our interviewees a question about what their favorite feature is, and now we want to know which one of those is your favorite. So vote in the poll and enjoy the video.
Das war's. Hey guys, my name is Titan, and alongside a few other creators, naming Feindbild, Amesto, as well as Army Polizeifunk, I am making buildings for the German region pack for Cities Skylines 2.
Hey, I'm B. Squarkelhausen, and I'm one of the creators making buildings for the American region packs.
It's Dark.
I'm Richard.
I'm Matt Welshman. I'm Bad Idea.
Ich bin Feindbild und ich bin einer der Creator.
Je suis Runier, je suis un des créateurs du pack régional français pour Cities Skylines 2.
这栋中式与现代结合的图书馆，毫无疑问是自习的好去处。
I hope you'll enjoy them once they release on Paradox Mods.
I hope you really liked that video. I am so excited to see what you guys build, and I'm so excited to have you share it with me. This is only the beginning for Cities Skylines 2. Thank you so much for watching.
I never thought I'd meet a dream, but here I am, and there you are. Love never felt so.